Hello everyone, my name is mchowdhury and today I'm going to talk about MST 300 Project 2. So this is my Azure portal and I've logged into it with my ODL that is provided for us. And first of all, I'm going to show what I have created for this project. So I followed the instruction of Project 2 and here I've created the bastions and then virtual networks and virtual machines, load balancers, and from load balancing and um, content delivery, I've created the load balancer. And also you can see the policy, so everything. So first of all, let me show you the virtual networks that I've created. So in total, I have created three virtual machines. And here I've created two virtual networks, MST 300 VNet 1 and MST 300 VNet 2. And if I go back, I created three virtual machines. One of them is client VM. The other one is web server 1 VM and then web server 2 VM. And here is a load balancer, which is really important for this project. I've created a load balancer, which is called MST 300 LB. If I go through the virtual machines, first of all, I have created the web server 1 first and web server 2. Then I've created a client VM. And if I go into the client VM, as you can see, all the configuration, Windows 10, everything. And here's the web server 1. So you can see all the configuration for web server 1 here, and it's running. And then web server 2, yeah, here it is, it's running. Now if I go back to home and I want to show you the virtual networks configuration. First of all, MST 300 VNet 1, here it is, the configuration. Okay, the first one is address space. Here it is for the virtual MST 300 VNet 1. Here it is the address space. And the pairing, if I go to the pairing, you can see it has VNet 2 to VNet 1 pairing. Same goes to the virtual network 2. It has address space, different address space, and it has pairing same as the previous one. If I just go to the pairing, here it is, VNet 1 to VNet 2. So it's really important to connect both web servers so that we can see it from the web client VM. And if I want to show you the configuration of the load balancer, which is really important for this project, first of all, if I want to show you the front-end IP configuration, because in the client VM and web server 1, web server 2, I'm going to search in Internet Explorer, I'm going to search the front-end IP, which is 10.0.1.10. Here is the configuration for front-end IP configuration and the backend pools, which is really important. And as you can see, web server 1 and web server 2 is in here. Both are added here. And the health probes, which is added HTTP 80 and slash, all looks good. So now I'm going to show you, okay, the bastion is created as well because without the bastion, we can get into the web server VM and web server, the client VM. So I've created the bastion. So you can see here's the configuration of the bastion. So with the bastion, we can get into the client VM, web server 1, web server 2. Here it is. So that's how I got into this client VM, and in the client VM, if you search HTTP 10.0.1.10, you can see Web Server 2 VM, as you can see right now. And the same way with the version, I got into Web Server 2 VM, and here it's the Internet Explorer, and here you can see HTTP 10.0.1.0. Interesting thing is, in the Internet Explorer, I've searched this IP, the same IP that I searched in Client VM and in the Web Server 1 VM as well. But in Web Server 1 VM, you can see the when I search this, it shows the Web Server 2 VM and the green page. And when I search in Web Server 2 Internet Explorer, it shows me the Web Server 1 VMs. And in Client VM, first of all, it shows Web Server 2 VM. But when I refresh, if I just keep refreshing it, now it shows me the Web Server 1 VM. It was previously showing the green one, Web Server 2 VM. And if I just keep refreshing it again, now you can see it came back again. So that's means the load balancer is working properly, and it is because of the backend, as I showed you previously from the versions. And by the backend, we are connected to client VM, Web Server 2 VM, Web Server 1, and in the load balancer, as I showed earlier, in the MST 300 LB that I created earlier for connecting with the person, and then I had to search with this IP, the front end IP. So if I go to the backend pools, that's the main reason actually when I was just keep refreshing it, it was just changing. Because in the backend pools, I've added this to Web Server 1 and Web Server 2 VMs, so that if I just go to the client VM, I type the same thing, same IP in Web Server 2, Web Server 1, and in the client VM's Microsoft Edge. So it just keeps changing. Yeah, so that's all for project 2. And that's all I created for this project version. And the final outcome, as I showed earlier, yeah, the final outcome is the Internet Explorer web pages and the continuously changing web pages from web server 2, VM2, web server 1. Yeah, so that's all. Thank you for watching the video.